Let's go ahead and jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com. Welcome to the Monday Q&A session where we tackle the tough questions about building your speaker business. This is the Monday Q&A chat, and we go in hard and heavy on the Monday Q&A call, answering any and every question pertaining to growing your speaker business. Let me tell you something. The earth is populating. The ground is getting warmer, and seeds are falling into the ground, and it is springtime. Things are blossoming all over the world. Here's the question for you. Is your speaker business blossoming? Are you planting seeds of accountability, seeds of value to the meeting planner? Are you putting in the work? Are you having a different level of understanding what your speaker empire should be doing? Well, we are so excited to help nurture those seeds. SpeakerFocus.com is a platform that's it's fertile soil for you to be able to nurture your ideas. We need some water and some sun on your ideas. We got to be able to keep growing these seeds of positivity, these seeds of excellence every single day where you are getting the work done. And when the seeds are in fertile soil, they always grow. This is a platform. This is fam. This is an opportunity for you to ask the questions. You got stuff rattling around in your head. You don't need to hold on to it. You can submit a support ticket, support@speakerfocus.com, or you can just show up on the Q&A every Monday. And you can just talk to me and Austin direct so you can get all the answers to your questions within. I'm a little bit on the move, so I'm not in a position to do video, but I definitely am all ears to listen to the questions that you have about growing your speaker business. You know the drill, ladies and gentlemen. Use the raise hand feature. Share your successes. Share your struggles. If you're falling off, don't be embarrassed. Welcome to the club. We're here to get you back on track, to light a fire under your ass, get your eyeballs back into the curriculum, get your mind right, do the work, move forward, and get some things popping. Now, y'all can try to play with me if you want. If I don't see any hands go up, you're going to just submit some support tickets, and then we can just end the Q&A. Anybody that has a question that you've been holding on to for a week, 2 weeks, raise a hand, and let's go in. Oh, Lisa Almond Baldwin has her hand up. Let's talk, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm good, Kev. How are you?
I'm doing great. Lisa, I told you, don't play with me. I better see that hand go up. I'm here to work, and this is how I earn my money, Lisa. Listen, all the other stuff that I do throughout the week is nothing. Honestly, the Q&A call and management of that is where I really earn my income. Most of the new students get a chance to go to the YouTube channel, and they're like, damn, he goes hard on the Q&A. That's right. That resembles what it's going to be like when you start doing business with us. So, Lisa, what's your question or your comment?
Mine is kind of a follow-up to the support ticket I sent you about reaching out for a tour. And so,
the verbiage that you sent. You didn't get the verbiage that I remixed for you and sent it. You didn't get that? Okay. Okay. All right. My bad. Obviously, there's a technical issue. After the Q&A, I will send it over to you. So I just did a remix on the verbiage that you had for, like, you gave me like 2 or 3 scenarios, and I just like remixed them and sent it back over to you. But it's okay. Yeah. That happens. Kenyatta said she didn't get the support ticket that I sent to her a little early. I just did a copy and paste and send it back to her. Don't worry about it. I'll get it to you after the Q&A.
Okay, no worries. But I do want to ask while I have you on here is, as far as reaching out for a tour. So since I travel full time and, without a set home, I know what areas I'll be in, for several weeks at a time. And so that's how I've been, and I usually know months in advance. So that's how I'm reaching out ahead of time. But I'm wondering, besides whatever the specific verbiage that I use that you sent back to me, is there a different way maybe than what I have been doing to look at where to outreach? So my market is faith-based, and then the association but I've also been in my LinkedIn outreach and everything, reaching out to human resources directors and things like that, and looking at the major companies in the cities where I'm going to be for several weeks at a time. So I'm wondering, if there's just a different way from, maybe you might say it differently, or I'll hear it differently, let's say, of how to reach out as far as a tour.
Okay, so let's go over the other marketing vehicles that you have at your disposal, so I can give you some ideas, so you don't have to feel like you're sitting around waiting just to be able to do this through digital marketing. Digital marketing and an email campaign is only one of the ways. The free outreach strategy through LinkedIn is just one of the ways that you can operate. Now, it may not be as effective, and it may take a little bit more time to gain some traction. But remember, in module 2, I talked about the 7 different marketing vehicles. Number 1, which was cold calling. Lisa, nothing is stopping you from actually purchasing a list of associations. There are many companies that sell lists. They typically run about 5 to 10 cents per name. There's nothing stopping you from buying a list. I would interview about 3 to 5 companies that sell list information. Tell them what you need. Tell them, hey, listen, I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant. I am looking to connect with associations who book speakers under the banner of leadership. Let them go over a menu of geographical area or a list that will potentially fit and work for you. I'd say try to start out with 300 to 500 names. Lisa, you still with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, start out with about 300 to 500 names. Start out with a small list. Maybe test it with, no more than $150 or $250. Test it with that. Buy some names. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get the contact person, their professional distinction, their title. Let's say, for instance, ask them, hey, listen, I want, Michael Towers has been crushing it in the HR space. So he linked up with the Speakers Bureau that booked him $40,000, $50,000 worth of business because he's a mental health speaker. And so not only is he accelerating because he linked up with the Speakers Bureau, but he also linked up with people that are in the HR space that specialize in booking. It's a national organization called SHRM. So it's the 8 human resource directors are littered in the SHRM organization. We took Michael through the entire process, helped him build out his signature program and the entire infrastructure to his speaker business, and he's rolling. He's rolling. Now, you can buy a list. Let's say you wanted to deal with association directors in the corporate space, or you wanted to do a niche under the banner of human resource directors or corporate training directors. Ask them for a real specific niche and see what they have to offer you. Now, once you get those names, 7 different marketing vehicles. At least the first one is cold calling. You have the script that I taught you. You can run them through the exact script. What are they going to ask you for to say, okay, you don't really have as much leverage when you're not getting them to schedule a call with you, like we're teaching you with the LinkedIn and the email outreach that we teach you how to do. You're going to lose a little bit of leverage, but if you just stick to the script, hey, could you put me in contact with the person who books speakers at your organization? Or if you buy a list, you're going to ask them, hey, are you the person that works for outside contractors or who books speakers for your organization for the regional conference or on-site program? Oh, yeah, Lisa, that will be me. Oh, great. And then you walk them through the script as directed right there in module number 2. What are they going to ask you for, Lisa? Oh, Lisa, this sounds like something we'd be interested in. Okay, well, what I'm going to send you on the follow-up email is going to be my speaker demonstration video, my speaker info kit. You're going to see all my signature programs. You're going to see my website. Lisa, that's exactly what we need to make our determination. Now, on your end, Lisa, you're going to say, cold calling. Cold calling works. It takes a little longer. You don't have leverage, but it still works. See, I think a lot of you think that we're going to condemn you if you don't utilize the digital marketing. Before you do paid advertising, you got to crawl before you walk. So you can be doing 5 to 10 calls every day, cold calling. Where you going to find the leads from? Buy a list. If you bought a list for $150 or $250 and you got a booking from $3,500 to $5,000, you think that'd be worth you buying a list? Alicia, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Okay. So buy a list instead of waiting around on the 30 outreaches that you're doing through LinkedIn or your email. Buy a list if you want. That's a great way to connect with people who actually are looking to book speakers. Again, start small. Don't do like I did. Spend $2,700 on 30,000 names. I could only really market to 7,000 of them. Why didn't the person who sold me the list tell me that? Well, I had to find out the hard way myself. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You can just spend a couple hundred. Make them sell you the list that you want so you have a better chance of connecting with people. Now, let's just say you get 5 or 10%. Let's say you buy 500 leads. You get 10%. That's 50 quality contacts. If you book 5% of that, excuse me, I'm sorry, if you book 10% of out of 50, that's 5 leads. At $5,000, that's $25,000 worth of business. That's just one way. Okay? So for those of you who are still thinking, I don't want to sit around, or some of you are still sitting on your hands and not doing shit, you could be doing cold calling. What's stopping you from doing that every single day? Actually searching organizations on the internet is another place to go, and start reaching out to meeting planners and conference coordinators. What's stopping you from doing the event for free? I know that I talk about not speaking for free, but if you could speak for free at one of these conferences and you could get in front of 1,000 people to market your services, if the meeting planner agreed that you actually add value, would you do it in order to get 3 to 5 bookings out of one engagement? Would you do it for free, Lisa?
Yes.
Then start doing that.
Okay.
Am I making sense to you what I'm saying?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Cold calling. Start doing it. Start looking on the internet. If you can get a free paid engagement, if the opportunity is right, you want me to help you analyze whether or not it's right? Okay, are they going to put you in front of more people who can actually book you to speak? Yes, then it's worth doing it for free. Are you going to be able to sell some books or sell something else from the back of the room? Yes, then it's worth it. I'm telling you, you got to start getting creative. If your calendar is not moving, you need to create activity in your calendar. If you're not speaking, you need to make it look like you're speaking. Marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe until the pan starts getting hot. Now, cold calling. Another way is through direct mail. It's old school, but it's still effective, especially the meeting planners who are 40 and over. They still like getting a piece of mail. So if you can, watch this. There is a fulfillment company. I talk about this in module 2. The fulfillment company, not only can you buy a list from them, you can say, hey, listen, can you fold this in half for me? Because if you send out an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, they're going to charge you double the postage. A fulfillment company will fold it in half. They will put a clear wafer tab at the top. So when you send it, it's only the price of one stamp. Not only will they print it for you, mail it, fold it in half, put the wafer tab at the top. By the way, you want to ask for Arceus coating. You know what Arceus coating is? Smudge resistant. It's smudge resistant. So therefore, when your brochures and stuff get sent through the mail, it doesn't get all smudged and the ink doesn't smear. It's like a protective coating that when it gets thrown through the mail, because the mail gets beat up. Price of one stamp. Not only will they put the stamp on it for you, they will cross-scrub your list. You can either send them a list or you can buy the list from them. They will cross-scrub your list to make sure that all of the physical addresses are up to date and that you don't have any bum addresses that you're sending it out to. That's another thing you could be doing. Again, start looking for companies who do fulfillment. Go online, interview about 3 to 5 of them, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Set up a clean, before you send out your design or your brochure, if that's what you want to do, send it to us first, and I will approve your marketing. You want to make sure it has all the value of your signature program. Put together a nice little 2 or 4-fold brochure. Send it out. It's old school, but it's effective, and it still works even to this day. I know everybody's talking about digital marketing, but forget that. Direct mail is still effective. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Yes, yes. So
what?
If I did any of those things, should I still keep up on the LinkedIn outreach as well, as much as I can?
Yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. You should be doing it all. You
Okay.
don't have to just sit around and wait, is what I'm telling you. See, this is why I love it when Lisa Allman Bowen shows up on the platform and asks questions. Because a lot of people are either not thinking about this stuff or they are not comfortable to come on the Q&A to ask the question in an open forum. Like listen, vulnerable. You got to abandon the thoughts of being embarrassed and all this other kind of stuff. If you want to know, all you got to do is ask. It's in there in the curriculum. But I understand you've been focusing on this digital marketing way. And listen, if stuff gets slow, me and Auston, we got to pull out another arsenal. If Facebook isn't converting at a high level the way we needed to, our YouTube ad and Google ad is on fire. It's converting higher than our Facebook, LinkedIn outreach, anything. So we start putting more money into that. It's like back in the day, if you were running an ad in the yellow pages, people can say, man, I spend $1,100 a month running ads in the yellow pages. I get 25 clients a month for running in the yellow pages. So is it worth me doing that? Yes. They still have a physical yellow pages that they send around to people's houses. Oh, it's effective. Let me tell you something. The old school people still love paper. So perhaps that's another option for you. Cold calling, doing direct mail, email, and digital marketing are the other two. You're doing that already. If you're not gaining any traction with free organic outreach through LinkedIn or a strong email campaign, I would strongly recommend against you setting up a digital marketing campaign and running Facebook ads and paid traffic, YouTube pre-roll ads, anything of that nature. Because you want to start getting some traction first so you can take the capital from that and invest it in running digital marketing ads. You got it?
Yeah. Okay.
You got to start getting some licks first. Okay. Then you can take that capital and you can start testing it out with $5 or $10 a day. See, everybody's doing it wrong. You can't be taking $1,000. You don't even have enough data collected in order to start running $1,000 a day on ads.
Yeah, I'm not.
You got to start out small. Yeah. Now, remember, let me recap. Cold calling, direct mail, digital marketing, email marketing. Another one is block bookings. I talked to you about that strategy before, but you got to have a booking in an area before you can call somebody else in the same area within a 30 or 60 mile radius, and then offer to speak at other people's organizations and tell them, hey, instead of doing it for $5,000, since I'm already going to be in the area, you don't have to pay for hotel and travel. Why don't I go ahead and knock off $1,000? You book 3 of those in an area in addition to the $5,000 gig that you booked, you're picking up an additional $12,000 worth of business without even having to travel that far to get it, all because you picked up the phone and asked. Now, the other ones is going to be nothing beats booking and speaking engagement in person. And this is what I'm saying. If free speaking engagements, a lot of times the right kind of free engagement will lead to a paid engagement. I can tell you right now, a lot of the conferences where they have these celebrity speakers, they're looking for another 30, 40, 50 speakers sometimes. Sometimes they pay and sometimes they don't. But if I tell you right now, if the right kind of celebrity brand is there being the keynoter and my face is on a brochure with theirs, I go do the speaking engagement right now, waive my $50,000 hour keynote range if I felt like it was going to put me in a better position. Now, listen, I'm in a different position in my life. I run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel. I can afford to say, forget you. I need my $50,000 or I'm not coming. But I tell you, under the right circumstances, I'll speak for free. I'm still not too good for it. Even to this day, you gotta weigh the cost opportunity. Let me recap real quick. Cold calling, direct mail, email marketing, digital marketing, block bookings, live performances, live performances, and the last one is referrals. Nothing beats when somebody sees you on stage. You want to gain some real traction, man, go speak for free and watch what happens when you crush it. People are going to be walking up to you talking about, hey, Lisa, I really resonated with me what you said. I need you to come to my organization. Or that word of mouth. That's how I booked the Pittsburgh Steelers Heinz Field. Somebody saw me come speak in the Three Rivers area at a public seminar. Back then I was still hustling DVDs before everything got all digital and YouTube and all of that. Well, somebody took my DVD back, and that's when Bernie DeLuca and Maria D'Annunzio, and that's when Rob Thompson, they all looked at my DVD, boom, planted a seed 3 years later. I was the only trainer in the history of Heinz Field to do a training inside the locker room, right there on top of the logo for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, that's how easy it can happen. Speaking engagements create action like a pinball machine, and that's what you need. Lisa, do you have any questions? Was there anything about what I just ran through, the 7 different marketing vehicles, that you're not clear about? Is there any other questions that you have?
No, I'm clear on those, and I see some other things I can do, that are potentially budget friendly. And I do have one more question. So
yes, ma'am. This is why you show up on the Monday Q&A, everybody, with a real question, so KTR can take you to school so you can get up off your ass and start doing something. Go ahead, Lisa. I got excited. I apologize.
That's okay. So about, 10, 12 years ago, I went to Indiana Black Expo in Indianapolis.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So they're starting it up again, and they're having one this year. And one of the things I had thought of, because I had done this before when I first started speaking and wrote my book, was to be a vendor at the showcase. So of the whole week of the expo, 3 days are the expo, and they're doing there's a booth that's I thought it was a pretty reasonable price. It's $425 for the 3 days. But I thought another day, because I have all my setup, my floor banner, I can sell all my books there. And then that way I could use, signing up for my email list and talking to people at the same time about my speaking. And then those brochures that I would send out maybe on a direct mail, I can hand out. So I wanted to see what you thought about that. I mean,
I think that's
obviously I'd have to add in, the cost of me getting there and staying there and all that. But I thought the booth prices are usually at these things are, at least $8,000, $9,000, but this was only $425. So I thought that was pretty good.
Okay. Well, the answer is yes, yes, and yes. I have purchased many booths. I have exchanged instead of getting a speaker fee, they gave me the booth for free. You can negotiate all of this stuff. Especially when it was, let's say my keynote range back then was $2,500, $30. This is before I broke 5,000, and I wanted a fee. They couldn't pay me a fee. I said, okay, can you give me a booth for free? Of course, we'd love to give you a booth. I went in there and sold my books and made $500 to $1,000. At least I walked away with something, and I definitely got some bookings. Listen, I got a booking out of the Washington Convention Center. It was a big event going on. I think it was called For Sisters Only. My area where I was speaking, literally, I only had 2 people in my breakout session that showed up for my seminar. Barry Fletcher, award-winning international hair designer. Barry's done Tina Turner's hair, the whole 9 yards. He's local here in the DMV. Barry was the person that bought my first book because he's all about support. Barry came over and bought my book. I remember that day, and I only had 2 people in my audience. But out of those 3 people, I still got some action out of that one speaking engagement. Somebody hired me to speak in Delaware, and then that's how it happens. Delaware turned into New Jersey. New Jersey turned into New York. New York turns into Chicago. Chicago turns into LA. And that's how it happens. But you got to be willing to put forth the effort. I know that I want you to generate money and revenue, but you have to learn to capitalize on the unpaid speaking opportunities, or getting a booth and making the most out of that. See, this is the beautiful part about it, Lisa. You're equipped to facilitate business. The only time I tell you don't do stuff for free is when you don't have your speaker business set up. You don't even know what to do. Like now, Watch this. You can add those contacts into your CRM. You can send them out a newsletter. You can stay in contact with them. You're not wasting time. That's called revenue generating activity. A lot of you just sitting around waiting for something to happen. You've got to account for all of it. You've got to take all of it into consideration and be willing to make the effort. So do I like your idea of getting the booth, doing the expo? Of course, I've done it all. Book fairs, going to speak for free, taking the book there, selling the book, having enough for a nice meal on the way home. But I made some contacts. And early on, when I didn't understand the higher level marketing stuff, I wanted to create some action. Instead of sitting around waiting for the game to come to me, I'm staying active. And you know what activity breeds, Lisa? More activity. And you know what activity leads to? Generating revenue. All it takes you to do is get one quality speaking engagement in your market, and it's going to start blowing up like a bag of microwave popcorn. That's how it works. Am I making myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Are you willing to do some of these other strategies that I just shared with you?
Absolutely. And like I said, keeping in mind, what my budget is, definitely I can do cold calls. And the other thing was what I was telling you is about, so I know when one place where I'm going to be for 6 weeks. And so that's what I was saying about, that's why I was trying to get the tour language from you, because I wanted to reach out to the HR and meeting planners of major organizations in that city, because I know I'm going to be there for 6 weeks.
Okay. So, exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Start thinking ahead. Remember your infrastructure. Oh, by the way, Kay, King, whoever that is, I see your hand up. And Anita, I see your hand up. I'll be right with you. Thank you so much for your patience. I need to walk through this. A lot of times when the answer gets lengthy, I'm doing this because some of you are out there struggling with the same kind of mindset. You're just not saying anything. But these are the kind of things that I want to be able to help you out with. Lisa, when you're not booking speaking engagements, any and everything goes. The information is there. You just have to be able to utilize it. And I want to say one last thing to you, unless you have another question or comment, we can wrap and go on to somebody else. Now, I want to say this to you. At least you have, number one, the willingness, and you do have some budget. Start where you are. Whatever it's going to take to generate more leads, if it's in your means to do it, it's all about making an additional investment. Eventually, you're going to book an engagement for $3,500, $5,000. You're going to get that money back. That's a guarantee. That's how it works. Did you have any other questions or comments?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'll look for that email from you later tonight.
Lisa, I love you, and I appreciate your desire. You just keep doing what you got to do and keep your head in the game, because eventually, watch this, just like how you've overcome everything else on this platform, you're going to be looking back and say, damn, KTR, remember when my calendar was light? And remember when I started doing more of this and more of that? You're going to look back on it and be like, why didn't I start doing this stuff earlier? Maybe you need KTR to yell at you every once in a while. This is what I'm here for.
Yeah, I like to have my ass kicked every once in a while. It works.
We all need it. Auston kicks my ass every day. Welcome to the club. All right. Talk to you real soon, Lisa. Yes, ma'am. Anytime. Okay. Let's move on to somebody else. Let's see. Anita Yarborough, I think your hand was up before. I'm not sure who K King is, but we're going to get to Anita right now. Anita, talk to me. What's going on with you?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Anita.
Good. Hope you all are doing great, including Auston and the Speaker Focus family. Hope you all are doing well. Okay, so I just read your email today about the website, but remember I was saying, right now I can't even afford that little bit, but I wanted to know, is there another way? Because the only reason why I'm asking, is there another way to
have a website up for free?
Yeah, like, okay, so back in 2018 or 19, I remember Will Smith had a website where he only had a picture, but he had a link that led to Facebook, because Facebook has a business page.
Yeah, you can set up a Linktree. Has Linktree is one link. You can set up I think it's about.me. That's a free website. Wix has a free website. It's probably going to be promoting their brand. I really don't like that. But if you just want to have a website up and running for right now, it looks a little low budget. I ain't gonna lie to you, but they do have a free version of the website until you're able to pay for hosting and things of that nature. So there are options. And if you just, I mean, listen, a lot of people drive traffic with a Facebook page. I don't really like it, but again, it's options. We're just giving you a baseline of what you could be doing. I'm telling you right now, Anita, the position that you're in, you need to be on some by any means necessary kind of shit and get it done any way as possible. Just like I just told Lisa, stay active. Activity leads to more activity, and the more activity leads to income, revenue generating activity. ABC, always be closing. ABM, always be marketing. AIDA, can I get your attention? Am I drawing your interest? Is the target buyer ready to make a decision? And are they willing to take action? These are the acronyms you need to be living your life by. If you haven't looked at the movie Glenn Ross, if you haven't looked at Boiler Room, Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, the original Wall Street from 1985, you are doing yourself an injustice. You need to be looking at every sales movie you can get your hands on, because that shit is real. I live it every single day. I'm always be marketing with what I wear, with what I talk, with what I post on my social media. Always be closing. I'm closing somebody in my sleep. And even on my level, I'm looking to get better at it every single day. You understand there are free resources out there. I don't give a damn what you do. Get a website up. Get somebody to go to your landing page and start where you are. Listen to me. I'm telling you right now, activity is going to get you a booking. But if you just sit on your hands, I don't give a damn if you got a free website or a one that you spent $5,000 on. You aren't booking shit. Now, keep activity going, and you can start, even if a booking came along for $2,500, take it. If a free opportunity came to speak, take it. You should be calling every meeting planner online when you see a brochure and ask them, can you come and speak at their event? You at least have signature programs. Your speaker video demo is one of the best submissions that I've seen on this platform. Your level of scripting and the way you presented yourself, I mean, my God, it was a brilliant illustration of following the exact script. I said, damn, that's the same verbiage that we told them to use on our platform. And it sounded beautiful. You at least got something for somebody to see, but you got to get more active. Start where you are. That's what I did. Every business I've ever started has been undercapitalized. Not having any money is an excuse. So I don't want to hear it.
I got you, because all this time I was thinking I needed someone to help me do my videography, when I was like, well, let me.
People, are you hearing me? Forget people. What, you got to rely on somebody that's letting you down? Welcome to the club. You got enough resources on this platform where you can get your head in the game and go out there and book you a speaking engagement. It's all about will and determination. And let me tell you something, there's no other greater motivator than when a person doesn't have any money. When I even think for a second that my income is falling off, or I can't do what I got to do to provide for my family, it automatically takes me back to when I was broke as hell. I don't want to feel that way anymore. So that's why I do the things that's necessary and submit and commit to the higher level mentorship that's surrounding me. You got the resources on the platform. It's all about you being able to pick the phone up, get in where you fit in. A lot of you don't want to hear no. And a lot of our students are complaining when you haven't even heard no. How many times are you hearing no every day? How many times is a meeting planner telling you that they're not ready? They don't have a budget. Okay, you don't have a budget. Well, guess what? I know you got an event coming up. Watch this. When they wouldn't hire me as a keynote speaker, you know what I asked them? So I could create an opportunity. I never forget it. The great George C. Frazier, one of my dear friends, my colleagues, and one of my mentors. Mr. Frazier is like Yoda in this shit. He's an expert in networking. I remember when I didn't know Mr. Frazier, and I never met him before, but he was coming to speak in Silver Spring, Maryland, and it was in my geographical area. I called the meeting planner up, and I asked them, could I come speak at the event? They was like, we're doing a conference. All of our speaker slots are already taken up. I asked her, I said, can I do a breakout session? Could I speak for 5 minutes? She told me, no, no, no. Guess what I asked her? I said, can I introduce Mr. Frazier? Do you have anybody to do that? She was like, damn, no, we actually don't. We really didn't really consider it. I said, well, I got the hottest talk show in the Maryland area. It's called Blueprint for Success. And I said, it'll be one less thing for you to do. She was like, damn, you know what? You're right. So guess what I did? I worked my way into a relationship that I have with Dr. George C. Frazier to this day. That one speaking engagement, I booked something else from that. See, they didn't bring me in to speak. They brought me in to introduce Mr. Frazier on my father. He said, it is the best introduction that I've ever received in my life. I had him giving him a standing ovation when just the way I read his credentials. I had the people stand on their feet and gave him a standing ovation, and that's how I brought him on the stage. And he never forgot it. Guess what he did 2 years later? It was only one speaker spot available to speak at his conference. I did that for free too, by the way. See, y'all got too many fucking excuses. Let me tell you how I came up in this shit. I did that for free too. Mr. Frazier saw how I interviewed Chris Tucker and Jesse Jackson Jr. They're friends. I got the only documented interview with both of them in the same frame at the same time. Mr. Frazier was selling his book. He was at the what was it? No, not the Black Expo. It wasn't that. I spoke at that before too. No, it wasn't the big conference. I spoke at that for free too. Wasn't that? Let me see. I'm sorry. It was the Congressional Black Caucus. He was there keynoting. He came into the hallway area. He sold his book, and I was over there with my talk show. Well, I interviewed Jesse Jackson and Chris Tucker at the same time, right when Chris Tucker came off of Rush Hour 1. He was on fire. He had finished with Friday, and he just did Rush Hour 1. I got him. And Mr. Frazier said, I love the way you politic that with Chris Tucker and Jesse Jackson Jr. He said, you know how to capitalize on opportunity, young man. I said, that's right. I said, Mr. Frazier, do you have some time so I can interview you about your book? He said, man, welcome to my booth. And I sat down and interviewed him for 40 minutes. 2 years later, he booked me at his conference. He called me up, had my contact information. He said, Kevin, I only got one speaker slot left. I want you to have it. And this is the reason why I'm going to give it to you. And then he recalls when he met me and how I was aggressive and how I was hungry. And then guess who spoke at that conference? Les Brown was at that conference. One of 7 times I've been on the same stage with Les Brown. Willie Jolly was at that conference. One of 5 times I've been on the stage with Willie Jolly. The late, great Dick Gregory at that conference. Tavis Smiley spoke at that conference. Jesse Jackson Jr., the great Al Sharpton. You talk about some Dennis Kimbrough was at this conference. Mother Love was at that conference. Heavyweights. And I got a chance to speak because I did some shit for free. Y'all not ready for me today on Monday. Matter of fact, let's shut down the Monday Q&A call right now because you're sitting on your hands bullshitting. And I'm telling you that free activity sometimes leads to paid activity. But if you don't want it bad enough, then keep sitting on your hands. But you got enough resources on this platform. And if you didn't learn nothing from that story that I just shared with you, I don't know what the hell you're thinking about for your speaker business. You want to learn, Anita? You want to be a part of this business? Then get active. Get active and stay active. Am I making sense to you what I'm saying?
Yes. I love it.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you. And my heart is just open to it. I'm loving it. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Okay. Do you
But
have
I
any other questions?
I needed to hear because, I wanted to take a move on my own, but I was like, hold on, he may not agree. So let me get a confirmation first. So this is what
Listen, let me be clear about something. You don't have to agree with me and Austin. You don't have to agree. We are giving you the baseline and information to work off of. You're going to have to bash your forehead into the wall and learn this business. Even after we equip you with the tools to do so, it's going to hurt a lot less than what I had to go through. You're still going to hurt, and you're still going to go through some pain. You can't be afraid of that. And my God, people, get out there and start making the mistakes. You're only going to do that if you're active. If you're active, what happens? You learn. What happens when you fail? Learn what not to do. Come back to a platform and share the experience and get better and keep getting better and keep getting your ass handed to you. You know what? I'm about to shut the call down for the night because y'all not hearing what I'm saying. Anita, did you have any other questions or comments?
No, that was it. That was what I needed to hear. Thank you so much. And I'm ready. Keep teaching.
Listen, I love you, and keep your head in the game and block out any other distraction. If I was you, I wouldn't be looking at no TV right now. I wouldn't be dating. I wouldn't be doing shit except for studying what I need to study and get active. You're going to catch on fire. Mark my words. Because of the position that you're in right now, you're going to get a paid speaking opportunity. I don't care if it's 1,000, if it's 2,500, and put that money and get to another level. One thing always gets you to another level. But if you don't have no activity, you're going to stay right where you are. Don't forget I said that, all right? Talk to you real soon.
Got you. Thank you.
Okay. Very welcome. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, Edward Mosley Jr. I'm going to be with you right after I find out who this is. Allowed to talk. Whoever your name is, K King, you are live with KTR and also on the speakerfocus.com platform. Who is this?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, this is Kenyatta.
Yeah, this is Kenyatta. Yeah.
Look, Kenyatta, I just saw when I saw K King, and I'm like, who is that? Hey, Kenyatta, what's going on with you?
Well, I'm doing good. Just got back in town this morning, and
okay, good. I know you're moving and shaking. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be
What's
doing
your
a
question
lot.
or comment tonight?
Yeah, I went to a basketball tournament, and there was a lot of opportunity there because it was high school. And, I want to do sports. And so I was just looking around and it was a whole lot of college coaches, all the top college coaches. So it was a lot of opportunity there for me to go up to people and start talking. But, I'm still going through the program, so I'm still learning. Yep. But it's a lot of opportunity in the sports world. And I'm just going to stick to sports. I ain't even going to lie.
Yeah, listen, clearly you are passionate about that. And you have a serious affinity for it. I love the question that you put when you submitted a support ticket, where you start asking me about the right approaches to speak to the NFL. And watch this, the college coaches, even the ones that are at the top, and they have top programs, all of them are super busy. But start understanding what the chain of command is. Start asking questions about who is the person who hires the speakers to come in to talk to the players. Like if you wanted to do a leadership training to come in and talk to the players. Deion Sanders has a great program at Jackson State, and Deion's always looking for speakers to come in. He her Instagram name is Bundle of Brittany Renner, I think is her name. And I could be wrong with her last name, but I know her Instagram name is Bundle of Brittany, and I know her first name is Brittany. But Brittany has a very controversial brand, and she had a baby by one of the NFL players. And Deion came in, had her come in to do a keynote speech and talk to his players about how these women will get you caught up on Instagram. It was amazing. So Deion he has a whole nother different kind of program that he's running, but he loves value and he keeps it real with his players. That's why they're in the, I think the SWAC is the conference that they're in. And that's why they're getting top recruits to come play at Jackson State University, because they're developing a culture of leadership for those young men. And that's exactly who you want to be associated with. So watch this. You're not going to get in contact with Deion. I can tell you that right now, because he don't even have, if you go to Jackson State University's website, see, I do research on this kind of stuff, so I know what I'm talking about. They don't even have an email address up there or a telephone number for Deion. But what you can do is talk to another one of the coaches that does have the main switchboard number, or send them an email and say, hey, look, I'm looking to offer some value to the young men. The program and leadership program I want to present is, and then ask them, who is the person responsible for working with outside contractors or hiring speakers for your organization? Okay. And if it's not Deion, watch this. If it's not Deion, I put together a tour for all of the NFL teams. I cold called 32 NFL teams. I got 17 teams to respond to my message without them knowing who I was. 17. Just by a voicemail message. Huh. I talked to all of the stadium directors. If you want the exact emails and the verbiage, I'll give it all to you. Just send me a support ticket. I'll give it all to you. Now, I started it with the NBA as well. See, you have an advantage because not only are you a woman, but you're a woman of color. And they're really big on diversity and inclusion. And if you got the right kind of marketing language, see, they don't want to work with people of color. They have to at this stage in the game because we're in this mental health crisis. And what I'm telling you is I'm sharing all this stuff with you because the kind of entrepreneur that you are and the kind of signature programs that we're helping you develop, it just has all kinds of value in it. Now, if you approach it the right way, then there's a lot of opportunity. Now, let me go back to the college market for a second, because this could be a golden opportunity.
And touch on high school too.
I'll touch on the high schools, but the money's not really there. And you let me tell you something, Kenyatta, you got way too much swag for you to be speaking for $700 or $0 to $1,000. I'm not gonna let that happen to you. You a real baller, and I know you want your money. Now I'm not saying don't do it. You can get your feet wet right now, but the high schools really don't have the budget. Watch this. There's about 4,000 plus colleges throughout the United States and U.S. Virgin Islands alone. 4,000. There's about 150 or so historical Black colleges. The small historical Black colleges like John C. Smith in North Carolina, they don't have the budget. They're going to cap you out at about $1,500, and they're going to be crying to give you that all inclusive. Only thing I like about the college market is that they have your check when you arrive to do the speaking engagement. You got to take out all your expenses up front. Now, and I'm going to tell you the ones who you should be going after. You should be going after Wisconsin. You should be going after Duke, North Carolina, Division I schools that have the budget. Michigan, all of them, they got the budget. Now, if they can't afford you to speak, they'll bring in a sponsor or a booster, Bank of America, to hire you to speak if they really see the value. You just got to have a leadership topic that enhances campus life. But if you watch this, Kenyatta, you can literally, hold on, one last thing. You can literally put together a tour of nothing but college athletic programs. You could do the football team, the basketball team. You could do the volleyball team. I've spoken to the entire athletic department before at some colleges and universities. It's wide open. All you got to do is what? And especially for women of color. Man, you talk about opportunity.
You know, Howard Isley is a coach at Michigan, one of the assistant coaches on Michigan basketball. His son go to my son's school and he's on the team with him. So the other day we had the dinner where my son got the most valuable player. And so I wanted to ask Howard Isley, because he was there, like, you know, talk to him about coming to Michigan to speak about a speaking engagement, but I didn't because I'm not ready. I don't have the language, the verbiage. I don't have any paperwork showing what I do, but the opportunity was there.
Yeah, keep him in mind. See, keep him in mind. Put him on a short list, a hot list. That when you watch this, when we get on the other side of building your signature program, you will be ready. When we get on the other side of developing your sales tools, see, this is what, Kenyatta, I appreciate you sharing on the platform, because you have a lot of success in what you did prior to you coming onto the coaching platform. You're extremely professional and articulate. All those wonderful things that I said about you prior to you coming onto the platform, those are very valuable skills. Now, you're right. You're not ready to start talking to the meeting planners because you want to have the verbiage, you want to have your pitch down, you want to let the sales tools do all the talking. But I can guarantee you this, because you do have one of those people on your hot list, and you do have them in mind, that you can turn that into a golden opportunity. Now let's just say this. Let's just say you have the relationship. Let's just say for whatever reason Michigan decides that they don't have a budget. You need to
your way into that opportunity to speak, and then get the documentation, like the video, the pictures, the networking, and then blow up after that. I'm telling you, Kenyatta, in that market, all it takes is one engagement with those coaches. You could do do you understand? You could put together a tour with nothing but all the women athletic programs all around the country. Forget about the men, even though they got bigger budgets for the football and the basketball team. You already know that. But there's opportunity laying there for you in the college market. See, this is stuff the speakers don't ever do. You can promote this as a tour. You could do all the top women NCAA basketball or top college programs just for the women, and put together a leadership program for the women, put together one for the men. Watch this. Lisa Willis is one of our top coaching students. Lisa was the first African-American coach in the history of the NBA. She used to coach for the New York Knicks. She's now, she works at the Nike main headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon. But Lisa had all kinds of records in the NCAA, played in the WNBA for years. And Lisa has a top leadership program, and she goes around and speaks in corporations when she's not working at Nike. I mean, the money for women right now, it's literally like you could just do a robbery. It's there, but you got to have your speaker business all constructed. And this is why when you see when I sent you back the support ticket, what kind of detail was involved in what I told you to do to get them signature programs right? What did you notice?
Talking third person, and make sure you clearly explain everything. Be very articulate. Clearly explain what the program how do it add value to the people's life.
There you go. Do you see the reason? You see what I put in there? I put Kenyatta's version, then I put KTR's version. If you speak to them in the version that I gave you, and you just let me keep helping you walk through this process, I'll give you the email templates, I'll give you all of it. You need to promote that as a tour. Listen, this is just a little gem. If you promote the tour just to help the women athletic department right now, I'm telling you right now, it's unlimited. You could be doing $250,000 a year just in the college market, just speaking at colleges and universities to the women athletic department. And the men will love you because, watch this, the men will love you because you actually you got the kind of personality that men will respond to. You're very strong. You're all woman and a girly girl and all of that kind of stuff, but you have a very stern business personality, and that's what men love. Men not gonna listen to you if you're coming in there all airy, trying to talk all sexy. Listen, brothers, this is what you need to be doing, and this is the reason why. Boom, boom, boom. Here are these strategies. Forget about telling them what to do. Teach them how to do it, and you'll be making money from here to eternity. Don't forget, I told you that. And anything you need, we're here to support you.
Thank you. Now I went through, of course, I'm a certified life coach. And when I was going through the program, they gave us a lot of exercises that we can do with our clients. So when I go through these speaking engagements, do I break out the exercises? Because I would love to, if that's possible.
Kenyatta, you saying utilize the things you learned as a life coach to use those exercises during your presentation?
Like one or two of them is really good for character building, helping people understand where they are in life and what they need to do to get to the next step or to get better and how to achieve their goals. So I want to kind of make it interactive when I do my speaking engagements. Is that okay? Do that make money?
Yes. Okay. Yes, and yes. That's exactly
what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you should be doing. That's exactly what I want you to do. You're supposed to take all the skills from you being a business professional, all your certifications, all your accreditations, your commendations, your degrees, awards, citations, everything in your career. You're supposed to do that. And what that does is it takes it out of the motivational fluffy category where you are delivering real value, where you are sharing exercises and you are putting them in a group activity, helping them out with the problem solving skills, and then taking bullets from your workbook or the worksheet, having them work through a scenario of something that you taught them. So obviously those things are very valuable. I love to break my group, especially when I do a half-day presentation or something like that. I love to break them up into groups and give them an exercise. Even if I'm doing a keynote, I always have a one sheet where you can take some notes, and then I give them an acronym to follow and some action steps. That's what people want as a speaker. And I'm telling you right now, if you're able to do that as a speaker and you stay away from all that motivational fluffy stuff, remember, these meeting planners have had it up to their eyeballs when it comes to motivation. That ain't what you're about, Kenyatta. You're about delivering real value. That's the kind of business professional that you are. That's why I paid you all those compliments. You need to put that in a bottle and package it, and they'll be all over you like white on rice. It's just that simple. So if I were you, I'll be trying to get my signature programs. I know you said you have those up to me by Friday so I can review them again. And then I'll be trying to get my sales tools together. We need to cycle you out to module 5 without rushing, because you can't skip certain steps. And we need to start getting you to do outreach. Because see, the thing about you, you're going to keep going out and networking with people. See, you roll in those celebrity circles like me. You roll in those circles with the high profile people. Now we got to get you prepared so when you talk to them, you know exactly what questions to ask without scaring them off. because you may not be able to work with the coach. Like I said, you're not going to call Deion Sanders direct because he's too big. You're not going to call Dabo Swinney, the coach of Clemson. You're not going to call him. He's too big. Any of the top coaches is making $3, $4, $5, $7 million a year. They don't want to talk to you. You got to find a point of contact, and then you got to find out what the team needs. Man, it's as much trouble these young men are getting into. They always have trouble with the law. They always got trouble with girlfriends. Social media is a huge problem. They're immature. If you got a program, a leadership program that can enhance campus life, again, they'll be on you like white on rice. So I look forward to looking at your signature programs. Did you have any other questions or comments that you want to share?
No. That's good. Just please make sure you send this out to us so we can save it and keep listening to it. Thank you so much.
Y'all can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Y'all be right with you. And Kenyatta must have the mute on or something. I can't hear.
I don't know how to get it off.
If you had any other additional questions, please submit a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com.
Okay, I will.
Okay, she's probably having an audio issue. Go on to the next person. Okay, so Edward Mosley Jr. Edward, are you there?
Hey, KTR, can you hear me?
Edward. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Edward, I can't hear you for some reason.
You still can't hear me?
Edward, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. All
right, cool. How you doing?
Man, Edward, I'm doing great. Listen, boss, I know you're over there moving and shaking, man. I need a job, Edward. How many people you need to come work for you right now, bro? Give me some of that money you're making.
I am, so first of all, again, I always like just giving props where props is due. You and Austin, the formula, the templates, everything is set up there. It's there, perfect. All you gotta do is move it around a little bit and use it. So I definitely want to, keep, give honors where honors is due. I just wanted to jump on here, man. I reached out to you all. I've sent that the support ticket in. Things have just been moving. I mean, every different direction. Some big accomplishments, some big wins, some personal wins, and just seeing how if you follow the templates, you get through the modules. And you start to drill down to those things that are important and those things that bring value and will bring value to you. And again, I just want to come on and make a quick comment. But the one thing I will say is, I remember when I initially brought up the potential, the coaching contract piece to you months ago, and really worked with them. Really got them to understand what type of coaching program they were looking for. And I was even able to basically charge other coaches a finder's fee for them to come in under me under this coaching contract.
Okay.
And so those things really worked out. The actual company kicked off their coaching external coaching program. And so that was a huge corporate coaching contract world. So that was a big win.
Well, congratulations on that, man. I was very excited for you to see.
Any advice that we gave you, Edward, definitely helped. And I always appreciate it when students like you and for those of you, Edward doesn't show up on every Monday group call. You know why? Because he's out there working. He don't need to show up on the Monday Q&A every single time because he's working. He's in the market. His business is growing. So it's something that you said that I want to touch on is real key.
Okay.
So I call it us giving you a baseline to go off of. But you just said something that was real interesting. You said you kind of take the templates and kind of work them around a little bit. Explain to me what you meant by that to make the templates work for your particular business model so you can get out in the marketplace and feel comfortable to make money?
Yeah, so like all the, for instance, the paid and free advertising templates, all of the actual verbiage that you all use, you know, once I was able to understand my audience, where my audience was, where I wanted my 4 pieces of revenue wheel to work off of, I was able to see that I have more engagement on one social platform than the other platform. Once I was able to take those templates and those modules and figure out what, if it was a code, it's even pipe drive, you know, even using pipe drive, being able to move those potentials all the way to the right, or so I was able to do that, and it took a lot of stress off me because the templates were there.
Right.
They were there.
Right. You know, one thing about this entire process is it takes a little time to understand it and get it. Edward, what words of encouragement would you give to people on our platform about repetition and really getting that light bulb to go off in your head, where just like what you said, I understood why I had to be doing it, and I understood the process of the CRM or the template. What does it take to get to that level where you understand why you have to utilize it, where it clicks, where you can be in the marketplace to start earning revenue?
So one of the things that piece of advice I would say from that is, we all start out and our head and our ideas are all over the place. They're just everywhere. And once I came on board with you and Austin, I was able to, one of the things I do is I'm kind of old school in some things, right? So I take the big giant poster stickies that you can hang on your wall. That's like, I don't know, it's a big, I don't know, I think it's 20 by 20 or something. And I have a whole bunch of freaking eraser board markers or whatever. And I freaking write stuff down, you know, products or revenue or, you know, my business model, when I want to do timelines on seminars, and I print all my signature programs out so I can see them. And as I see it, then you start to formalize, okay, I can do that. I don't need to do 10 things. I can do these 5 things. And so as I was going through the modules, I'm able to see like, okay, my mind and my ideas are all over the place. So if I just go through the modules and just do the cold call, because I don't like cold calls, but I do like the templates that you have for LinkedIn outreach.
Yep.
I was able to take those LinkedIn outreaches and I made a coaching outreach. So I was able to take those. You got to
turn it into something different to work for yourself.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got you. And that's the reason why I asked you the question, because again, we're just giving you a baseline, but there's a lot of, listen, Michael Towers is crushing it in the human resource space right now. He just booked a speaking engagement. If you go to social media, he was just in Mexico. He was on tour in Mexico. He's got Minnesota coming up. You know, he's traveling all over the place. Michael was a lot like you when he first started, Edward. He really didn't understand why. He was like, yo, man, I just want to be a motivational speaker. Like, bro, he came at me so hard before he paid his fee. He was like, man, you're a leadership speaker. I'm not a leadership speaker. I'm a motivational speaker. I said, bro, you're a leadership speaker. Like he still can't believe it. When he got his initial investment back and he was started to earn revenue, he was like, man, it's happening exactly the way you said it. He said, thank you so much for just being real with me and not letting me get in my own head or get in my own way. I said, this is what tough love is about. And a lot of times mentorship is not easy to listen to, but when you're right, you're right. And it's not that I'm trying to be right. I just know the direction to go in to get results out there in the marketplace, Edward. So when a person like you is on our platform and shares, and if you have the ability to humble yourself and get out of your own way and take the knowledge and then turn it into something totally different. Another reason why I brought up Michael towers is because Michael figured out a new way. He took the signature program template to a whole nother level. Like his signature programs are killer. And that's the reason why he's having so much success. Bro, Sherm just hired him for the national conference coming up in a few months. They're putting him on the big stage at the national conference. He would have never got that if he didn't have those signature programs. So what he did was he took the baseline of what we taught him how to do, and then he went out and turned it into like his writing skills are amazing. This is the reason why his signature programs are like that. Just like yours, Edward. Edward, yours was one of the submissions. Well, I barely had to touch it. I mean, because you just understand what needs to happen. You understand the client. So when Michael did his signature programs, he literally created a brand new one for Sherm, and that's the one to put him on the main stage. Amazing when you follow the system. So keep doing what you're doing, bro. Did you have any additional questions or comments or anything you want to share?
Yeah, and I did want to just say one thing. So I had I was at a fraternity convention this past week, and just seeing how. So one of my frat brothers was the gentleman Robert Smith that paid off the Morehouse College those student loans for those students.
Yes, but the one that's breaded up. I know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
For those of us that are in fraternities or have friends in sororities or these groups, that's an opportunity to network your programs. And so like one of the things that So one of the things that I'm doing is, for instance, like me, I'm into leadership, coaching. And so one of my target groups is colleges. So the young lady on the before me was talking about colleges, but how I'm using it is I'm all into the military transition type, that type thing, and so I'm able to talk to my college brothers to connect me to those transition officers or those military resource officers at the college level. And these are all HBCUs or maybe predominantly white institutions, but that's a network that I'm doing at the same time I'm doing other stuff. So I'm doing multiple things, speaking the same leadership signature programs to all those different angles. And that's how it takes off.
Wow. Hey, Edward, here's another great idea. For those of you who are sitting on your hands, Edward just gave you another $150,000, $250 plus $1,000 a year as a speaker idea. Those people who belong to fraternities and special clubs, all of them belong to professional associations. Typically, other than the fraternity that they belong into, and all of them, let me tell you something about people that's in frat. People that's in frat are very professional. They take pride.
The fact that they're driving $150,000 BMW and they have an executive job or they run a company, they take pride in it. They also look out for each other.
They network and share resources. And they are always looking for somebody to keynote the national conference. Or, watch this, local, regional, national meetings that they have all the time. A lot of them work for major companies who are looking for who? Speakers. You got to understand what's going on with the marketplace right now. And Edward, I want you to touch on this last thing. Can you feel the shift that's happening since you're out there working your coaching and consulting and speaking services every day? Can you feel the need and the desire for people who are in pain right now? These companies are hurting. So what have you felt out in the marketplace about the meeting planners or people who need to hire professional services? Talk to me about that.
So one of the things that I will say on that is I took a shift. I did take a pivot, and from a personal perspective, I realized that some of these folks that are in these positions, these event planners, these training coordinators, these resource officers, they may not have ever had pain. They may not have ever experienced anything. So if you're focusing on them, if you're trying to talk to them, you have to be talking to the audience that they are.
Edward, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Edward, I think your audio
went out. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying was what I had to do, a pivot that I pivoted on was I was talking directly to event coordinators and training coordinators, and I had to shift my message to the people that they service.
Okay, yes.
And so I wanted to talk to somebody like me that's working, that's having these issues. Vice, me talking to the training coordinator or the event coordinators or the trainer resource manager, because if they haven't went through the pain or suffering that I went through or that employee is going through, they don't relate. They don't relate.
Good point.
So I shifted my audience. I shifted my conversation to the problems that they're having in HR, high turnover rate, the problem that they're having in disgruntled employees, high EEO complaints, high harassment complaints. So I started talking to the problems that they were having inside of organizations by talking to a training coordinator, because they may not have been harassed, so they don't understand what it feels like or what it looks like.
Right.
So I shifted my conversation about the problems, their pain points that they're having inside the organization.
I got it. I love it. Okay, now, again, I want everybody, I hope you're taking notes about what's happening. You're talking to a speaker that has benefited from the training on our platform in the marketplace, making power moves, understanding what the target buyer needs, and he's open to modifying his marketing verbiage so he can make more of a connection with his signature program and his professional consulting, coaching, or speaking deliverable. This is a person who is in the marketplace winning because he's flexible. Activity, I call it activity breeds more productivity. Productivity breeds activity. Activity gets you paid. And Edward has all the revenue generating activity. That's why we're always proud of you, bro. You're not afraid to do the work, and you got out there in the marketplace and you watch this. You were open to making adjustments of your brand and the way you presented yourself. And you're going to constantly have to do that if you want to stay competitive and you want to earn revenue. Anything else you wanted to share, or any other question I have for you before I move on to Rafa?
No, I'm good, KTR. I'm gonna say something real selfish, but it is what it is. The way I see it, people like your so my target is like my those that above me are like a Les Brown, Tony Robbins, or Lisa Nichols. That group of people, they're going to move to the side just based on natural age or just whatever. I want to make sure I'm in the right position, mechanically, a system set up, all the stuff is in place. So when they move out of the way.
Edward, your audio went out again, brother. Can you hear me?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, yeah, okay, go ahead. It just went out for a second, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey, I'm just trying to get my shit together, because when the Les Browns and all those guys get out of the way, when they kind of put it down, my stuff is going to be already out there in the world, and it's going to be ready. That's just how I look at it.
Okay, got you. Well, that's smart. That's smart to be able to do, because it's important that you always stay ready and always stay prepared, because you're right. There's a changing of the guard. We all don't stay young forever, and there are people coming up that's in the gym practicing, building out their speaker business, building sales funnels. This is why me and Austin go hard every single day, because I need to put as much space as I can between me and anybody else who thinks about doing what it is that I do on the level that I do it. And that's the reason why I put the effort into it. So you're doing the right thing, man. You're making all the right kind of moves. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. We love you, and we're here to support you. Keep us in the loop of what's going on. If you need any more templates or anything else, keep tweaking and keep making adjustments on the fly, brother. You're doing a great job.
Well, too, man. Love y'all too. Be safe.
Okay, man. You do the same. Talk to you real soon.
Right.
Man, Edward Mosley Jr. out there crushing the game. And look, he ain't taking no prisoners. Edward's like me. He treats it like it's a rap battle back in the 80s. I mean, you gotta take a lot of this stuff personal, and don't get it twisted. Speaking is competitive, just like sports. Rafael Escobar. This may be our last call. This may be our last question, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Rafa, can you hear me? Excuse me.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. What's up, Kev? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm never better, bro. I'm never better. I'm getting stronger in my convictions about my goals, my 2022 campaign. Hey, brother, I'm working, man. I'm working and loving life, man. Living a speaker-focused lifestyle. What's going on with you?
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I could tell, man. You brought the fire, you brought the energy, the enthusiasm today. You gave me the lift that I needed, bro. Now I got a question. As I move into this week, I'm going to begin stepping into the marketplace and doing my outreach. I have a couple of existing clients that I have in mind that I'd like to reach out who hold prominent positions in either corporations or own their own businesses. So my question is how, if you could give me maybe some verbiage in terms of reaching out to them from a now professional speaker trainer place and not just from their personal trainer without scaring them away. Does that make sense? How can I, what sort of question can I ask them, or how can I present myself in this new way now to see if I can have an opportunity with their company to speak, or if they can put me in connection with someone that they may know?
Okay, all right. So you're trying to start with like a warm list of clients that are already familiar with your training services, your physical training service and your nutrition and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, well, that's smart. One thing that people don't do is ask for referrals. Referrals is a great way to a lot of times double and triple your revenue, but we rarely ask for referrals. And a lot of times you just need to let people know. You need to say, hey, listen, I've developed a professional speaking business to complement my health and nutrition business. And I'm looking for some speaking opportunities to get my brand out there. And, if you know of anybody at your organization, if you need leadership speaking or training, maybe you could put me in contact with the person who works with outside contractors, or find out what company they work for and call them direct. Call up the HR department, call up the manager. There's a script in there for you to follow. Are you the person in charge of working with outside contractors or booking speakers for your organization? That's the question that you need to ask. So when you do get the switchboard, especially with a lot of big companies, you want to ask them, excuse me, who is the person that I'm supposed to be talking to, so they don't send you on a wild goose chase. Have a pen in your hand, get their extension, their name, their number, their email address if they have one. A lot of times people will tell you, hey, go to the website. Personnel is this. A lot of times it's not listed on the website, and you got to do some digging. So yeah, that's what you need to do. Just let them know that you got your name and you're trying to put your name in the hat. You have some speaking services that complement your health and nutrition business. Excuse me. And that you are interested in being able to pursue some speaking opportunities in your local area, and then see what happens.
Perfect. I'll tell you. Yeah. Say that again.
I said, go through your fair share amount of no's. A lot of you don't.
Yeah.
A lot of you don't want to hear no. I realize that it's a numbers game. I don't take it personal when I hear no. I don't let it get me down. I realize that, okay, in order for me to book an engagement, maybe I need to talk to 35 meeting planners to book one. So I'm willing to go through that to get the one. Same thing when you're running a sales funnel. It's a numbers game. You got any other questions or comments?
No, well, yeah, I got a comment on what you just said. There was a couple of pieces I was missing that you gave me. The first one was that I developed a speaking business to complement what I was doing. I wanted to let them know that it was a complement to what I was actually doing, and not that I was doing it instead of, if that makes sense. And because that allows me to speak it naturally. The next thing is looking for speaking opportunities. That's very direct, clear and concise, and that's what I want. And I have a hard time asking for help, but that's acknowledging the relationship between me and them, and also just being direct and honest. Like, hey, I'm trying to get my name out there, trying to get my name in the hat.
Sure.
Anything in the local area, anything that you can connect me with. And that I think will provide me the tools to ask them in a way where it doesn't come out of desperation or stress, or in a way where I'm just looking to take, right? Because I'm looking to provide my service, leadership, speaking, training, add value. That's what I'm looking for.
Add the value. You know, I believe that when people go back over and they hear the level of commitment that I have in my voice, and I had to pull out, you know, listen, I got a million stories that I haven't told on this platform, and I pull them out whenever it's necessary, because I think that a lot of you are under the impression that, oh, you know, KTR, him and Austin, they run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel, and, you know, he's too good to do free speaking. Yeah, hey, listen, you have to start somewhere, but you have to start creating activity. And a lot of times what happens in sales, Rafa, is it's uncomfortable to ask, but it's a part of the process. I had to go through it. Like, I don't even feel uncomfortable talking to people now because I'm not trying to sell. See, this is called information marketing. For those of you who don't know what it is, if you want to get taken to school, what information marketing is, all you got to do is look at a lot of Dan Lok, DANLOK. It's an Asian guy. High ticket closing is his brand, and Frank Kern. Frank Kern coined the phrase intent-based branding. Information marketing. Give away information for free. I don't sell every day. You know what I do? I take people to school about the speaking industry. I don't sell. I don't have to sell. My sales funnel does the selling for me. My excuse me, I don't have to do follow-ups. My retargeting ads do follow-ups for me. Automation does the follow-up for me. All I got to do is talk to people, and all I want to do is speak, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a real speaker. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. That's all I want to do is talk to people, share information. See, when you get out of trying to sell, then you're going to sell more. You should be sharing information with people and walk them through a process. What me and Austin are teaching you how to do at speakerfocus.com is learn the process, master the process, understand the system, work the system. Get on the call with them first, offer value. If it's a good fit, get them on the calendar for the follow-up call. While in between, while you're following up with them, send them over the follow-up email, which has what? More freaking value. And then that kind of thing speaks volumes and does all the talking for you. You have a very high chance to close a person on the follow-up call if they show up because you ran the sales funnel properly. And I'm telling you, it takes all the guesswork out of it. It takes all the hard work out of it. When you learn to do it the right way, man, I've never had so much fun doing business ever in my life. And the majority of it is because everything is automated and everything is a system that I follow. Again, I don't have to sell shit. All I do is information marketing. Me and Austin just sell information. We share information. And then what it does is a lot of it converts into revenue because the people are like, damn. I just had a lady tell me this. She said, listen, KTR, we don't even need to have this call. I just looked at a 3-hour Monday. Is this your Monday Q&A call, whatever it's called? I said, yeah, that's what it's called. She said, I just heard you speak for 3 hours. And then I heard your co-founder, Austin. He got on there with sharing information. She said, if these people give away this much information for free, what is it going to be like to actually work with these guys? And that's what you got to start understanding. You got to stop selling and start sharing information. You got to start feeling comfortable with having the conversation about how I want to serve you versus how I want to extract dollars out the back of your ass. And as soon as you start doing that, you're going to start making more money. Am I being clear?
Yeah, let me tell you something. What's crazy, what you've done is you've solved the pain point. And the pain point is the anxiety and the stress that goes into quote unquote selling. Because for me, it was more of an anticipation of trying to convince someone, not realizing what you just said, which is
and selling is not convincing. See, that's a problem. See, that's a mindset.
Right.
That's a mindset.
Right. What you said was instead of convincing and selling, not that mindset, but instead take them to school, meaning educate them. And if you're confident in what you're teaching, if you understand your program, if you know how you provide value, it takes all of the fear away from that conversation because you're simply there to serve. And then intent or information-based marketing, you're providing so much value from the moment they see you to the moment that they get on the phone with you, that by the time they're actually on the phone, you're not even selling because you're giving away so much value. You're only further giving value in that call and educating and taking them to school. So it's not even about selling the whole time, which is why it makes it comfortable, because at the end of the day, you're a subject matter expert, and what you're going to bring value in is in that. So just be the expert that you know that you are, and then that's what it requires, right? That's what I heard.
Exactly. And you know what? Very keen observation. And before we wrap the call, let me share this with you. This is the mindset that I have. If I get a person on the phone like the lady, there's a pre-selling of your professional services. So the pre-selling is them going to all your social media, looking at your YouTube channel, seeing the value that you provide through your social proof. Those clients come in hot. It doesn't even take a lot because they've already done the due diligence. They've done the investigation. They're comfortable with hiring you. They know that you are at the top, the cream of the crop. Before they got their mind made up before they pick up the phone that they want us to be their speaker coach. Period.
Right.
And some of them have done a lot of calls. They've done a lot of investigative work. They've listened to a lot of other offerings. But I'll tell you right now, man, our YouTube ad and our YouTube channel gets us more business right now than we can shake a stick at. And the reason why is because we go hard on the Q&A call. Like I said, the Q&A call is where I earn my money. That's where I earn my money. I told you, bro, it's like doing a 2 or 3 hour commercial every single Monday. And I don't mind taking the time out because this is what we were built for. So watch this. You have the clients that come in hot, that do their due diligence and have their mind made up before they call. Before the call. They get on the call, they're all ready to go. They come in with a high level of respect for what you do. They're humble. They understand that they want to commit to the high level mentorship. They just want to know if the pricing can work for them. And then it's just a point of just walking them through the process. That's one type of client. Then the other kind of client are the person who doesn't really want to buy anything. So guess what? You don't get upset with them. I may make the call shorter, but I don't get upset with them. Do you know I get a lot of people call me, they get on the call and they got ego. I know the call's not going to last a long time, but I make an example out of them. Not in a negative way, not be confrontational with them, but I make an example out of them because I know no one is going to take the time with them in a 5 or 10 minute call to have an impact on them the way I know I can.
Right.
So I still share the information with them about what their speaker business is supposed to be doing, knowing damn well that they probably are never going to buy from us. But you know what I do? I got another mouthpiece out there saying, man, that guy KTR, man, he came to me kind of hard. I don't know who he think he is, but what he's going to realize that even if he goes with another program, even if he doesn't decide to do anything, which I tell him all of the above, he's going to remember the information that I imparted on him. And sometimes the seed grows slow, but it will grow. And that's my job. It's even when they're difficult, I still take them to school and offer them value. He's still going to get the follow-up email with the hour and 8 minute speaker focus demonstration video. But he's gonna sit there and say, damn, I pissed this guy off and I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know I was talking to the guy, the CEO of the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing, because I'm the only one in this industry with the balls of guts enough to impart this kind of wisdom for free.
Right.
And then do the follow-ups and walk you through the processes. Because most people don't know how to do this. They don't have the experience. And this is what we're teaching you on our platform, so you have the competitive advantage, the slight edge advantage. And then watch this, Rafa. So it's the people that come in hot, is educated, ready to buy. Then it's the people that's very combative. They don't want to buy. They're probably not going to buy, but I still give them the education anyway. Watch this. Then it's the people that's skeptical. It's the people that the guy asked me today. He said, Kevin, what do you think about? And he gave me one of my competitors' programs. I said, well, I don't score any points by downgrading one of my colleagues. And the way I answered the question, the way I always answer the question, I said, there's a lot of other people that focus on one specific thing on their platform, but not one of them focuses on everything. It goes into detail as much as we do at speakerfocus.com. So I don't have to see, when you have your sales funnel set up the right way and you got all your marketing material set up the right way, I don't have to entertain questions about why I'm the best. I mean, that's ridiculous at the stage that I'm at. I mean, Rafa, that's not even a fair question. So what makes you so special? Are you kidding me? You haven't looked at the information prior to the call, and then now I bet you this, when you schedule a follow-up call with me, you know exactly the value. See, what makes you the best is who delivers the most value. That's how you keep score. Not who says that they're the best, who offers the most value. And you want to be able to put your product up against anybody else in your space. And if you offer more value than them, then you don't have nothing to worry about. If you're asking for money all the time or trying to sell too hard, you probably don't have a strong product. See, the people like Dan Locke and SpeakerFocus.com and Frank Kern and Gary Vaynerchuk, they don't have to work hard to sell. They don't give a fuck whether or not you sign up for the coaching program or not, because they got numbers on their side. They give away so much free information. That's why they run multi-million-dollar sales funnels. When you get a person really trying to sell you hard, they're broke. Trust me, I know what it sounds like. I used to do it too.
Right. And it's purely because the intent is off. And the thing that you're doing throughout the point of the interaction at all phases, regardless of the person on the other end, is you remain in what you do best, which is deliver value. And you stay in the high road. You don't allow it to affect you emotionally. You don't get upset. You don't get angry. You hold by what you do the whole time, which is just, I'm here to serve you. You know what I mean? And if you do that, and without bashing people, and if you got my company, there is no question, because illustration beats, what is it? Illustration beats conversation. Right. Right.
Bro, I don't have to say anything.
Right.
All I got to do is press one button and send you the follow-up email. And it's your job to look at the follow-up email, just like all of our students do, that had them help them make a decision to do business with us. I don't have to beg. I didn't try to talk you into it. Bro, listen, I had a couple show up on the call with me on the follow-up call. I think it was last week. I think it was Friday. I was at my favorite restaurant on the water down by where I live. And I was and I had the conversation. The guy wanted to show up with his wife on the phone. I said, bro, I love it when the couple supports. I mean, I love it when the significant other supports the other one. It makes for a better coaching student, a better coaching experience for them. So the lady was like, she was like super skeptical. The guy was ready to go. You know, she was just like, well, Kevin, I don't understand why it has to cost this much. Or I don't understand, I still don't get it. Yeah, I looked at the video and I said, did you really look at the website and look at all of it? Yeah, I looked at it, but I still don't understand. I said, listen, my job is not to convince you. I don't care whether or not, I told her to her face, I don't care whether or not he signs up or not. I've done my job. I've given you the information. I've had the follow-up call. We had a great follow-up call. I've given you some extra time. Listen, here's the question that y'all need to ask yourselves. Does he want to sit in the same spot in another 3 to 6 months or a year from now, still doing what he's doing, not understanding how to build his speaker business? Now, if you're in a situation where you can afford to do that, then fine, good for you. But that's not what he told me. So because you two are at odds, you need to huddle up and get your shit together. All I need to do is wake up the next morning and attack a full schedule, because my calendar is full every freaking day, because I'm good at lead generation.
So that is Facts. I mean, how can you handle it any better? You get
that's
out of
not
there.
facts. Well, I'm sorry, it is fact. You know what it is? You know what it is, Rafa? It's attitude.
Right.
Attitude
there you
equals
go.
altitude.
Yes.
And I gotta, and my attitude and disposition is I'm not gonna get upset. It's a numbers game. And the very next day I can have bro, you know how many days I've had where my calendar's full with bum ass leads? The people just weren't serious for whatever reason. I'm like, man, damn, I got my ass handed to me today. I didn't get nobody on the follow-up call. Are you kidding me? I'm better than this. And watch this, Rafa. Watch this. I swear to you, bro. This happens every single week. The very next day. I love it when I have a horrible day. Watch this. This is going to sound crazy. I love it when I don't get any follow-up calls scheduled. Because the very next day, you know what happens? I get at least 3 to 5 people at the pay in full on a follow-up call who is serious about moving forward. I love it when that happens.
That's right. That's right.
It's a numbers game. Again, don't get emotional. Follow the system. Rafa, did you have any other questions or comments?
No, bro. Love you, man. I got to get to the baby, but that was beautiful. That's what I needed to hear today. KTR,
Love
you did it again,
Stay
bro.
on the ground. Stay on the ground.
Yes, sir.
Kiss the baby for me. Tell Amy I said hey, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, boss. Yes, sir. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what another powerful Q&A call. This has been, I'm talking wondrous. You know what I love about it? I love it because sharing is caring. I love it because it's empowering to be really good at what you do. I love it because we get an opportunity to serve you. And your business, your speaker business, whether or not you're coaching, consulting, or just speaking, man, the opportunity is so, I can barely sleep knowing the kind of opportunities that's on the horizon for many of you. Go back and listen to this Q&A call because there was so many golden nuggets in there. These emerging opportunities for women, for people of color, for people that have all these different specialties. We work with some of the best subject matter experts in the world. And I just love it when you guys get out into the marketplace and not only start earning revenue, but you got the right kind of activity going where sales is actually fun. Most people are horrified by sales, and I'm having the most fun of my life because I've been taught a system by Austin, and Austin learned it from somebody else, and I'm sure that person learned it from somebody else. But let me tell you something. The people that get the prospects to convert into revenue, they are very skilled at information marketing. Do some research on it. Don't forget that I shared it with you. And by all means, have a great evening. Thank you so much for the questions, the attention, the support tickets. Keep them coming. We love serving you at a high level. On behalf of the entire staff of SpeakerFocus.com, I'm the proud CEO of this company that is making power moves all across the world to all 4 corners of the globe. I'll catch you right here, same time, same place next week. Stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. This is only the beginning.